So to test this out here, I can select some joints and move them and see what happens. Ooh, my whole face. What? Okay, they're all separate. They all connect together. Let's see. Okay, let's look at our skin weights here. Grab this. Skin, edit smooth skin, paint, skin weights tool. Actually, you know what I can do first? Is let me go to my interactive, my points here. So I know that this is all going to go to the neck down here. I'm going to take all of this, put it to the head. Head joint. Now I'll go back in and adjust these now. But, oh, you know what? I don't think these got bound actually. They did not. Well, actually, these I can just parent right to the joint. Let's see. Oh no, I can't. There's several pieces. Oh no, I can't. Okay, cool. So I've got this left eye color and this left eye shine, right? I can take these and I can parent them right to the joint if I want. Let's do that. Spin this. So left eye shine, I'm going to put that on the left eyeball joint. I'm just going to parent that.
You said D?
Yep. What's that? Eyeball joint, yes. Then I'm going to take the left eye color and parent that to the eyeball joint. Whoa. So now if I take the eyeball joint and I rotate it around, now we could skin this as well, but it's a separate piece of the mesh. So I'm not going to worry about it. Or should I do that? Maybe I should do that. I probably should because that wouldn't work in the image. Disregard that last step. So I'm going to unparent those from the eyeball. Right? And what I want to do is I want to combine these into one mesh. I'm going to select, and I have to unskin this too. Detach skin. Alright. So what happened was the head is a separate piece of geometry than the eyes. Right? Which is paint. For game, you wouldn't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my eye color and my eye shine. And I'm going to combine them. I'm going to go to polygons, mesh, combine. This is going to be left eye. And then I've got these empty transformers, which I don't need. Get rid of those. And then I've got this, which I don't need. Whoops. I didn't do that. Why did that disappear? What's happening? Where did that go to? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of surgery here to this. Right eye color, right eye shine. I'm going to combine those. Mesh, combine. This is going to be R underscore I. And then I'm going to select this eye, and this head. Go to mesh, combine. And this is going to be head geo. There we go. A lot of empty figures. It's kind of messy, but it's okay. All right, so when I select this now, it's all one piece of geometry, which is what I want. All right, it doesn't affect what we did to the joints. I just want this all to be one mesh. Now when I skin it, right, select this edit joint, edit mesh, or sorry, not edit mesh. Skin, bind skin, skin bind. Actually, let's just skin bind. Joint hierarchy, closest in hierarchy, closest distance is what I want. Dual quaternion. I want to do 3 for the max influences. I want to turn off maintain max influences. And I'm going to bind the skin. All right. Did it only do that one joint once? I didn't do interactive bind, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do the. You could. It's up to you how you skin it. All right. So what I want to do with this. Let's go to my side view here. Select my joint, my mesh. Go to width. Yeah, we combined the geometry. Not all the geometry because we turned off his head glass before. Right. But okay, so all of this I want to wait to the head. General editors, component editor, smooth skins, head joint. We'll start on this one, go all the way down. Now what's cool about this is even though we combine this, we select the vert, like on the eye, right? And I hold shift and I expand my selection by doing greater than. It'll select all the verts that are in that piece of geometry, but it won't expand to the rest of it. So now I have that whole eye selected.
How you did it?
You select any point on the surface that you want. Yeah. So like I want like the center of the eye, right? I just chose a point there. Hold shift and press the greater than, which is right next to the question mark. And just keep pressing it until it gets the whole thing. So that's that piece right there. And I'm going to go to Window General Editors, Component Editor, turn off the hide 0 columns, and I want to find the left eyeball joint. And I'm going to flood that. So now, if I move the left eyeball, right here, okay. Now I want to do the same thing with the right eyeball. So I'm going to select my mesh over here, expand this selection to be everything. You know, there's like an inner piece on this other one that I didn't have on the other side.
See the shine?
Yeah, it is. Expand that. Just make sure you get it all. Because who doesn't want inner piece? Sorry. Sorry, guys. Jokes are free. All right, right eyeball joint. Here. Flood that to 1. I can test it. Just grab the right eyeball joint and move that around. Ooh, I'm looking around the room. Cool. All right. So now I need to find the head joint and rotate that. Does that work?
Yes, yes it does.
All right. Here's the neck joint. Just gonna move everything because it's all hierarchy to him. Head joint. What I want to do is I want to make sure that this bottom row doesn't move with the head. I want that to move with the neck. So what I can do is I can select my geometry, go to my skin, edit smooth skin, paint skin weights tool. Double click that. Find my head joint. Bring this size down. If you hold B, it'll change the size of your brush. Come down here, change the value to 0. And I'm just going to paint around the neck here so that the head has no influence down the bottom. So that when I'm moving the head joint, it's not moving the neck around.
Does it work better if you change the value to 0? Because I usually just hold control.
usually hold control. What's that do?
It makes it take away instead of adding weight.
Oh. Yeah, too.
Alright, I was just checking. You're doing it your way. I was wondering.
There's, you know what? Mine is weird because you can do the same thing like 10 different ways. If that works for you and you're used to doing it that way, go right ahead. Okay, so just to test this now, let me grab the head, and when I rotate this around now, it shouldn't move the bottom row, and it still kind of does. What I can do is I can just force this to do what I want it to. Do what I say, not that. So I can just grab all these verts. Selected, it looks like. So I'm going to general editors, component editor, hide 0 columns. I want these to just be weighted to the neck joint. Just to 1. And now, when I move the head joint, it doesn't move that bottom limb. Cool. They still move with the neck. Awesome. Oh, I should probably save before I'm being stupid. All right, let's finish getting our weighting in here, and then we'll do the controls. Go on break with the controls. All right, so what you want to do for this, we've got the eyebrows weighted. I'm going to select this, go to my paint skin weights tool. If I go to my different joints, I can adjust them. So my jaw joint is going to be all this stuff here. So if I change my weight to 1, I want the jaw to affect all of this. Chin and the cheek. Right underneath here, it's going to affect. Turn off my extra joints. I want the jaw to affect all of this here. And I'm going to go in and smooth some of this too so that it gets a little nicer. But basically you want all of that. Something like that is pretty good, I think. Now to test it, just open up your outliner here, grab your jaw joint. Oh! Now I know that the mouth isn't opening, that's because I haven't done anything to the weights there at all yet, but that's looking pretty good, I think. I don't want any of these to be affected by the jaw joint, so what I'm going to do is go to my side view here. See how it's affecting the neck step? I don't want that, so I'm going to go in here, select these verts. What? Yes. So I've got all these selected. I'm going to go into my component editor, smooth skins. I want to make sure that hide 0 columns is on, and I just want to zero out this jaw joint on all of those. So all the way down, 0. So now, when I move that jaw joint, it should not affect the neck at all. Jaw joint, beautiful. Now I will want to smooth this a little bit because I do want some of this stuff to go. So a good way to do that is to rotate your jaw joint, right? Because by default, your rotation's 0. You can rotate your mesh, right, or your joint, and then go in and clean up your weighting a little bit, and then put your joint back where it was. So see how that's all messy underneath there? I can select my mesh, skin weights tool, go to the smooth one here, and just kind of smooth this out. Right? So that's going to give you a little bit better results there, right? So don't be afraid to go in and move your stuff around just for testing purposes. Let's get that fixed up a little bit there. It's nice. Let's get this. Oh, beautiful.
still also hit the flood.
You could hit flood, but then it's going to smooth everything, which you might want. But I like to have a little more control over what part I'm smoothing. But sometimes it does kind of deaden some of the parts of it. Just rotation back to 0 there. What's the default one? For what? For painting weights? Yeah. I usually just have it set to replace that change value from 0 to 0. All right, so I want to get the mouth corners now. Let's see. So these are really easy. So top joint. Actually, let's do bottom joint first, since I've got that selected. Got that set to 1. And change the size of this. Basically, I want to just hit wherever this joint is. So I want the bottom lip joint to affect